is Valley News Live at 6.
New documents obtained by Valley News Live shed light on the turmoil inside a Cass County agency.
2 social service employees are on thin ice as an outside investigator puts their ability to lead in doubt. This is part of an ongoing look into what investigators call a toxic culture at the agency. Valley News Team's Joshua Peguero joins us live in the studio with details. Joshua?
We obtained 2 letters from Cass County that outline conclusions and recommendations for Family Service Manager Linda Dorff and CPS Unit Supervisor Rick Van Camp. Both are at the center of accusations blaming them for creating a toxic work environment. The letters confirm allegations laid out in a sheriff's office report last year and a follow-up report on February 3rd. Employees say Dorff and Van Camp continue to have problems with their management style, which impacts job performance within the agency. They're seen as primarily contributing to a negative work environment. Dorff and Van Camp have to respond to the county by March 9th in regards to the letters. A week later, on March 16th, a final decision on what to do with both will be made by Cass County Social Services Board, which recently changed its name to the Cass Human Zone Board. Mike?
All right, thanks, Joshua. That board will consider 5 options for Dorff and Van Camp, including firing them or taking no action.
Warmer temps are coming. I want to be the one to tell you about that. The challenge is having to get through the chilly weather again tonight, and that's where I feel it's appropriate to let Hutch tell you. He's here with your No Wait weather planner. Hutch?
Oh, look at that sunset out there to the west from our Valley Skycam, and it is absolutely gorgeous looking. But again, it is a cold one out there. Here's a look at our wind chill advisory for our entire area overnight tonight once again as we take a look at the max 1 if we can. There it is. Temperatures right now 2 below in Fargo, 7 below in Thief River Falls. Bemidji at 2 below 0. Factor in the winds and it's between 10 and 21 below. Langdon at 19 below right now. So bundle up as you're heading outdoors tonight. Temperatures falling quickly into the teens below here in Fargo with winds that become more southerly through the overnight. That is a good sign. I'll have details on a warming trend that will take hold after we get through a very frigid overnight here in just a few minutes.
All right, thanks, Hutch.
The search is over for the teenager that police say is linked to a deadly shooting in Bemidji. 18-year-old Antonio Parkhurst is behind bars tonight in Bemidji. He's accused in the shooting death of a 20-year-old man late Monday night and the wounding of a 17-year-old. Parkhurst fled the scene and was considered to be armed and dangerous. The body was found outside the home and the wounded teenager was treated and released from a hospital.
Investigators were unable to determine the exact cause of that apartment fire in Grand Forks early Sunday morning. They do say it started in the kitchen area of a lower level apartment. 2 people were hurt in the fire along the 300 block of 4th Street North. The building was gutted by flames. A furnace is to blame for the fire that heavily damaged a home near Sebeka, Minnesota. It happened late last night to the house on 109th Avenue. When crews arrived on scene, they found flames that already reached the 2nd story of the home. Firefighters were able to put it out quickly. No serious injuries were reported.
Fargo police are asking for help locating these 2 people of interest in an ongoing investigations. If you have any information about their whereabouts, call Fargo police and reference photo 162. Over in Moorhead, police are asking for your help locating 27-year-old Sarah Everson. Everson has multiple open warrants, including possession of a controlled substance. You have any information on her whereabouts, contact authorities. Police are warning of a high-risk sex offender working in Grand Forks. 39-year-old Ricky Lindemone is now working at CHS on the city's north side. He was charged with first-degree criminal sexual contact with a weapon. He's currently living in Warren, Minnesota.
100 people were killed on North Dakota roads in 2019. That is the lowest number of fatalities in 15 years, according to the North Dakota Highway Patrol. Preventable factors were major contributors to the number of deaths, like not wearing a seatbelt or speeding. Of the deaths last year, 47% were not wearing seatbelts, 42% were alcohol related, and 24% were speed related.
Getting an accurate census count brings all sorts of challenges. That includes finding people who don't have permanent places to live. The census count is based on where people live. Those in residential homes pose no problem. However, the service-based enumeration, or homeless population, is a different story. North Dakota census workers are in the process of touching base with and making lists of locations and agencies that the homeless population receive benefits from or gather often.
All of these individuals are residents of the state, and they deserve to be counted just as every other resident does.
Iverson estimates the cost of missing one individual is equal to losing $1,910 over the course of a year in federal funding for the state.
North Dakota regulators have unanimously approved expanded capacity for the Dakota Access Pipeline. Energy Transfer says doubling the pipeline's capacity is needed to meet growing demand for oil shipments from North Dakota. Opponents say the expansion would increase the possibility of an oil spill. They argue the commission should have considered effects all along the line and not solely at the pump station location. Permits for pumping stations in Iowa and Illinois are still pending.
Changes are coming to the FDA's nutrition facts labels. Registered dietitians say that these changes on the label make it easier for consumers to find information quickly in terms that they can understand. Officials, some of the list of beneficial changes are bolded front, separation of natural and added sugars, inclusion of vitamin D and potassium, and the addition of micrograms and milligrams rather than a percentage base on a 2,000 calorie diet.
It truly is taking into account what we are finding people need more of, and I think it's also looking into the future a little bit too, as this is what we're kind of predicting.
Schmidt adds there are some drawbacks to the new labels consumers should look out for. She says the FDA changed serving size to reflect a more realistic portion size based on what a consumer might actually eat versus recommended serving size. This might be unhealthy for some and cause people to overeat.
Several airports in the Valley will be receiving grant funding to help with different projects. The Federal Aviation Administration has awarded more than $4.6 million to be spread across the state. The list includes airports in Ellendale, Grand Forks, Barnes County, and Oaks. U.S. Senator John Hoeven says that these grants will help provide necessary updates and improvements, and that it's vital that North Dakota airports keep operating safely and efficiently.
Target in Fargo is a step closer to being able to sell alcohol. The city's Liquor Control Board said yes to Target's request for its store on 13th Avenue. A separate entrance would be part of the deal. The issue must still be approved by the full commission.
Later on Valley News Live at 6, which intersections have the most crashes in Fargo?
Temperatures to start out our day were mighty cold, 20s below for many in our northern and eastern counties. High temperatures colder than our average lows for this time of the year. Hutch, when is it going to warm up? I'll answer that next.
You're watching Valley News Live on TV.